what we've got here, guys, is one of my favourite pieces that I've done for the Tigers, because it was always my dream. When I did the Team of the Century originally, they're in the three-quarter time huddle, and I've done other ones where they're in the locker room, but I thought, wouldn't it be fantastic if they're all out on the ground playing together? So to coincide with the 50 years at the G, the club and I decided let's choose the greatest moment on the G, and then I'll put that into a match situation with all the greatest players that have graced the G over that time. So the club came up with Royce Hart's famous mark in the grand final. Was it 67 or Pete?
67. Oh, that's right, it was.
So we chose that as the greatest moment. Now there's only one really good image of it. You've all seen it. It's sort of from the same angle, but I didn't want to have that angle, so I had to recreate it. So I had to look for a whole bunch of photos of players in the position that was similar to his mark, but on a different angle, because I wanted to bring you guys onto the field with the greatest players, like you're a trainer or something like that, and you're on the ground. So that was actually Ben Griffiths taking a mark on that angle, and then I popped Royce's head on and then changed the gear to make it, specific to him in 1967. But now we have a completely original view of that mark. That's the only view of that mark in existence, and it's taken over the Geelong player. And I thought, well, it'd be great to have Richo up there with him, another high flyer who, out of respect, isn't going for the ball because he's letting Royce take it. And so
good point.
Around that, I've created this imaginary scene. So there's other little moments on the G.
So if we start over here from the left-hand side, we're going with over here.
Well, first of all, you've got Tommy Hafey on the boundary looking on. How excited would he have been to have all these players at his disposal? You've got Jimmy Jess looking on, Ian Stewart hovering around the edge of the pack with Brett Deledio. Now, Bill Barrett is just cleaned up Bruce Doole, who's in midair flying through the air, and we've even knocked his headband off.
Nice.
And he's going, where is it? Jeff Rains is watching on amused. Although Kevin Sheedy, whatever Bill doesn't do, Kevin's about to come and finish off.
Clean him up, yep.
Yeah. Roger Dean watching on.
Yep.
Morris Rioli roving the pack with Barry Rawlings and Trent Cotchin and Dale Waitman. Now, what a mosquito fleet that is. But in the background, one of my favourite parts is that famous moment in the 73?
Yep.
73 granny, where Laurie Fowler set the tone of the day by cleaning up John Nichols early in the game.
Yep.
Another moment on the G that not so glorious for Richmond, but still a significant one, was little Libba. You can see there tucked away when he king hit Matty Knights, the dirty mongrel.
Yeah.
But I thought, who better to have on your side in that moment than the great Francis Burke, who's just, cooler heads are prevailing, and he's just stopping Matty from retaliating there. And then the bloke who actually bought the painting, we painted him in as a runner, and that's his head there. He's he's a club patron, and he's the lucky owner of the painting, and he's in it. And down in the goal square, you can see Michael Roach and Barry Richardson just waiting the outcome of the big left hoof from Royce Hart once he's taken that mark. And of course, the background, which was, believe it or not, the hardest part of the painting, was recreating the MCG in the early 70s on a sunny Saturday afternoon. And there it is, Eat 'em Alive, and the floggers and all the streamers and all that sort of stuff.
And we've got a couple of signatures down here.
Oh yeah, this is signed by Royce Hart.
Yeah.
And Richo. Obviously the two stars of the show. And this comes beautifully framed as you see it here, in a black timber and gold frame with a black mount. And this is one of my favourites. I would just love to have seen all these guys actually playing in a game all at once. Would have been amazing.
Oh well, as a Tiger, we'd be pretty happy with it. Jamie, how long did it take you to get done?
Oh, this took a fair while. This was probably about 4 months' work. And just designing it, because I had to find all these photos. Like, this was a photo of Roger Dean that I saw, and I thought, well, that's great, him walking into the scene. Same with that one with Jimmy Jess. Some of these have been made up. I've had to put heads on other bodies and stuff, like I said with that one.
Yeah.
That was actually in a practice match at Skinner Reserve.
Ah.
And Richo says he's a little bit embarrassed because you got the most famous mark of all time on the G in the last quarter in a grand final, and you've got me at Skinner Reserve playing in a practice match. But he'd be pretty happy to be up there with Royce.
Without a doubt.
So
Okay.
yeah, it's a lot of work putting it together.
And these are available now, Jamie.
They're available. Yep, they're available to you guys. Yeah, enjoy.
Jamie, that's fantastic. Thanks for the story.
Pleasure.
Okay, there you have it, RTSSG. Get yours now.